This is part 4-4, and you can see when it's viewed from the isometric direction, it looks like this. And again, if we just place this part into a drawing using the 4 views method or without thinking about it too much, the front view will consist of 2 squares side by side, and that definitely is not a good way to look at this part. So we're going to have to choose a different face or a different view to initially place, and then we're going to have to rotate it after that. So the view that we're going to put in is the top view. So we want it to look like this truncated T, so to speak. But then it's going to be up on its edge, so to speak, and more vertical than horizontal. And what we want to place in there is something that looks like that. So a rotated top view. So that's what we're going to have to do, and here's how you do it. Let's right click, create the drawing. OK. And OnShape will try to give you a preview of what it's going to place into the drawing. You can see it is those 2 squares side by side, but we know that we can come up here and we can change the view orientation to top, and if you wait a second, OnShape will catch up and it will give you an image there of what it's going to place. But we don't want it to be vertical like that. We want it to be more horizontal. So the way to do that is to left click here, and don't place the right view or any other view. So hit escape, and you just have one view up there, and that is the front view. So there's no dependent views here. So now if we double click on the front view, you'll see that we have this option here to rotate the view. So we can just experiment around. We know it has to be 90 degrees. So it's either plus or minus 90. Let's try 90. And it turns out it was the right way. So we've just rotated that front view. Now we can accept that. And now we need to place the other projected views that come from this front view. So to do that, we're going to right click and create projected views. So if we click there, we can move over and place our right view. And then now we can just, as before, left click to place the top view, and left click again to the upper right to place the isometric view. Left click, hit escape, right click, show shaded view. All right, now we're ready to go. And what do we want this to look like? Well, we can go back to the assignment sheet. And again, there are only 2 views needed to fully dimension this part. And we're going to, as we want to do, we're going to dimension the bumpy area. In other words, this face. It wouldn't make sense to sort of dimension from the other side. And so we're going to have these for these dimensions for the width, and then these dimensions for the height and for the depth. Let's go ahead and do that. Click our dimension tool, and our first one will be here, 25. Left click, and pull up for the 50, and then finally we want to go all the way across so that we have on the drawing the full width of the object like that, and we can always infer what this dimension is here. And now we want to do the height dimensions, and finally the depth dimension. And we can right click, delete that sketch, and we move this one over. And if we look at the example, that's exactly what it should look like. So this video illustrated a couple things new. Number one, how to rotate a view, a front view, so it's oriented the way you want it to. And also how to create projected views by right-clicking create projected views rather than just left-clicking, which you can do when you first place the front view into the drawing.